Hey, everybody. Welcome to Pink Shade. It's Tuesday. It's TLC Tuesday. We're here to talk about before the 90 days. I've got Kimberly here. Kimberly doesn't have her 400-pound Stanley Cup, so that's good.
I have my regular. It's
Yes.
free. I don't even have the lid on right now.
Oh, wow. You're really getting bold.
Yeah.
Really getting
I'm
bold.
cutting weight. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got my favorite Stanley Cup. It's this one. It's pink and orange.
Adorable.
Yeah, this is my favorite one. I mean, don't let the others hear it, but this is my
Yeah.
favorite one. I also have a new drink that I'm drinking that I found at Bald Head Island. It was like at the spa, at the end, they're like, you could buy these drinks for $5 or whatever. I was like, fine. It's called Cloud Water. And let's see, it's a prebiotic, probiotic, vitamins, CBD, daily defense, blackberry, lemon, rosemary. I don't know what it is, but because it was so good, that's what it looks like. Because it was so good at Bald Head, I bought like a case of it.
I don't like the name, and I'll tell you why. It makes
Cloud
me
Water?
think of cloudy water.
Oh.
Which sounds nasty.
This is supposed to invoke that it's raining on you or something.
Okay.
But it is really delicious, and so I've told everyone in this house,
Don't touch them.
If you have one, ask first. Don't drink my favorite one.
Yeah.
And number 2, one a day. That's it.
I love that.
They're expensive. You can't just be slugging these down like it's a water in your Stanley Cup. No.
You need them for recording, and that makes it a business expense, I think.
Writing that down. Biz expense Cloud Water. Okay.
Mhm.
Great. Anyway, it's not an ad, guys. I just like it. So, like to pass things along. What's going on there in California? It looks nice and sunny and beautiful.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's a little windy, but it's very nice. Some leaves, some weather here.
Really?
Not where I live, where my aunt lives. What does it
Oh,
say underneath your teeth scruncher?
I'm a teeth scruncher.
Yeah, teeth scruncher.
Don't you scrunch your teeth at me.
Yeah.
Mhm. I didn't quite understand what that meant, so I thought I would write it down so I could remember to ask you.
Yeah. I think it means what we just did. Like that. Like
But we're gonna save those 2 nut jobs for the end.
okay.
I
just
can't
can't wait till we get to the next time on, because there was something in the next time on
Yeah?
that had me screaming.
Oh, with Lauren?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just scrolled down to the bottom. I was like, "What was it?" Because I don't even think they were on it. Yeah, and guess what? Your man Joe is coming up next week. Finally,
Oh,
after
yeah.
10 episodes, we're getting Joe, and you're
Yeah.
gonna love him, and I love him too.
That means Renee and Chidi are finally officially
Finally,
gone, right?
she's gonna leave on a jet plane, never to
Yeah.
return again. Yes.
Thank God. Well, I mean, we don't want her here either. But I just
Well,
feel bad foisting her on Africa. I don't think she should go anywhere.
I imagine at this point she probably has a new online boyfriend, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that. But we
Mhm.
won't know because they're not on the reunion, right? So
They won't be on the reunion, and I also would like to
and I
know
don't
if she
follow her on social.
No, if she has a new boyfriend, I think she needs to find him in like-minded groups of people that think the Earth is a program, and conspiracy theory groups would be a good place for her to find a boyfriend.
But sometimes when 2 of those people come together,
Mhm.
you get Unabomber. You get,
Oh.
you
Ooh.
get
Well,
something bad.
he was
And
a
I'm trying
solo. He was a solo guy. He was a a
I
one.
know. I was trying to think of the thing I wanted to say, I'm not saying. But
Okay.
when you get you get Pizzagate. Like,
Okay. Yeah.
so who also was a single guy, I think.
Uh-huh.
But I just fear if 2 of those people come together, will that make the double the conspiracy crazy?
It'll end up being like a QAnon spinoff club.
Mhm.
Yeah. Come on Thursdays, I'm having QAnon spinoff club at my house, 6 PM. Bring a hot dish. Okay. Oh, no. Okay. Hey, speaking of that, today's election day. Everybody vote. Everybody vote.
Vote, vote, vote like your life depends on it.
Vote, vote, vote like your reproductive freedom depends on it. Okay.
Yes, it does.
Because it does. Okay, that's it. No more. Before the 90 days, season 7, episode 10, War and Peace.
Oh, well, there we go.
I mean, okay, we got it.
That's what we were expecting the whole time. Okay.
We're gonna start with Vanya and Bojo, and I gotta tell you, this makes I can't wait to talk to her. I'm interviewing her, I think, next week, and I can't wait to talk to her because I don't like how this is going. I don't like the game that Bojo's playing here. I don't like it at all.
I agree. I was just on a Reddit thread because people are discussing.
Yeah, and
Can I say it? Because
yeah,
she's gonna be
please.
on the show?
Well, yeah, I mean, don't say anything mean about her because I did meet her in person and found her delightful. But yes, go ahead. Well, I mean, we could
Um,
talk about her eyeshadow. That's a problem.
okay, so that is what I said last week or the week before, that I think he's just not into her eyeshadow look, and
Hmm.
that was what the thread was on Reddit. It was not a thread I created, but a whole bunch of other people were agreeing that the look is just too, pink and too much, and
Hmm.
his area might be more conservative,
Hmm.
and, the way she dresses is a little, like,
It's like a
fun
lot
and
for him.
young,
Yeah.
and it's a little over the top for him, and also they feel, I'm not saying I feel this, that she's coming off a little desperate. Even though she acts very confident, that they
Hmm.
feel like underneath that, it's a little too desperate.
I also feel though he has fed her a bill of goods. I feel like
Oh,
has
100%.
he made her think that we're coming here to be boyfriend, girlfriend. I mean, they're like, "I
There's
love
no way.
you."
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he full on, like, lied to her, like, this
yeah,
was a bait and switch or something. I
yeah,
don't know no, he messed up for sure.
yeah, yeah, and then once he saw her in person, he was like, "Whoa, this is a lot for me."
Yeah.
And, also, honesty is not always the best policy.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have to say everything that is
Right,
in your head.
right. Well, I mean, hello, Renee.
Yeah.
We're looking at you. All right, Vanya and Bojo. So we opened with Vanya applying her pink eyeshadow, which I don't get, and that's fine.
We still like her as a person.
Yeah, we don't understand her eyeshadow, and maybe she's leaning into the pink because he keeps talking about her being Miss Pink, 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 pink. So maybe she's like, he really likes it, so I'm gonna like lean into the pink, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say
So
maybe just the lips, um,
and the clothes is fine.
and maybe don't do the eyeshadow. That would be mine. But, what do I know? Look at how I am dressed. I'm wearing a T-shirt from T Public from our merch shop.
What does it say?
It says "Living It Up in Lebanon," which was a musical that we came up with one time, and somebody made a full-on poster for the Broadway show, and it
Hilarious.
says, "A triumph," in quotes. Like, they made it like an actual,
Yeah.
it's very funny. Yeah.
No, that's funny. I had a bunkie, Allie Arnold. She's a very talented artist, and she made us a logo one time. Um, the rock bands that we
Mhm.
have Hot Car Placenta.
Mhm.
And then also have Hot Car Chardonnay. It was like a cover band for Hot Car Placenta, but Hot Car Placenta and the opening act has Baby Sister in the back. And literally she did like a whole like rock star thing
Yeah.
with like a car with like the dates that we were touring on
I
it. It
love
was
it.
so good, so good. I should look that up and see if she could redo it. It had the old logo on it. Maybe I get her to redo it with the new logo. Allie, are you listening? Help me out. Okay.
And maybe all of the tour dates would be different cities from, like, 90 Day.
Yes, it would be split Croatia. It
Yeah,
would be
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Allie, let's talk. Okay, so we owe makes great Christmas presents, guys. So,
Mhm.
Vanya's applying her eyeshadow, and she says she's confused about the mixed signals with Bojo, and she hopes today will be better because, like, she just landed and they, went and did this thing, and she couldn't check into her Airbnb, whatever, and she hopes today will be better.
Notice it takes her, like, half an hour to get ready. What is
Mhm.
Tigerlily doing for 4 hours? I still can't get over it.
I'll be very interested to see if it takes her that long when she's with him in Turkey by herself
Right.
with no glam squad.
Mhm.
So, the next morning he says, "Good morning, Miss Pink. Oh, Vanya, you look beautiful." And they hug and see his mixed signals.
Very, very.
He's brought her 2 brownies and a cake. I was like, "Wow." He's like, "I brought you some sweets. 2 brownies and a cake." Yeah,
Okay, for
yeah.
breakfast.
All right, for breakfast. She was eating it. She was happy. So, in the talking head, he says, "We're on different pages, and she seems to want a relationship immediately, but I want to see if we can establish chemistry in person like we had online." So he says, "What do you want to do?" And she goes, I don't know. I want to tour around." He goes, "All right, let's go tour around the old town area." So they go to look. He tells a banana split joke. He was like, it's a kid joke. I say, split was named after banana split, whatever. So he's got jokes. Don't forget, he's got jokes.
No, he's the living at home with his mom, Martin Lawrence. Remember?
Did he say Martin Lawrence? He definitely said Eddie Murphy.
He said Martin
He
Lawrence
named
too.
a lot of guys from the
He
90s.
It
Yeah.
was all 90s, yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know if, like, that he's watching a lot of, like
Hulu?
yeah.
Throwback stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what channel has Martin.
Next, he's gonna be
BET, I
like, he's
think.
like, I'm Screech.
Yeah. God.
So they see tons of, cool things. It's very pretty. And then he goes, now we're coming to the vestibule. And he sings, "I got it, yawn, guys. I'm sorry." And it's terrible. But I think it's one of those things. We have one here in DC. It's at the Canadian Embassy, where it's this round thing. It's perfectly your sound should be perfect. It should bounce on all sides perfectly, up, down, and
Mhm.
sideways, whatever that.
Acoustics.
Thank you. It's acoustically perfect, this place.
Mhm.
So I think he's trying to say this is one of those places where when you sing, it sounds perfect. He sings. It's not great, but he's like, "I can't believe I did it. Look how great I sing."
Maybe he's in a semi-pro, amateur, professional men's choir, as well as basketball league.
Could be. He's like, "I can't believe I did it, Vanya." And he's hugging her. He's being fun.
Yeah, mhm.
He's hugging and twirling and singing about her and how great she is. There's
Yeah,
no
it's like
reason
they're
for
freaking Sound of Music in the little gazebo.
there's no reason at all for her to think he's not into her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then he says, "Oh, I told my mom all about you." And she goes, "Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about that. What happened?" And he goes, "Well, my mom is excited. She thinks you're perfect for me. She's finally going to get rid of me. We're going to get married." She goes, "Well, wow. Like, what did you tell her that your mom thinks we're going to get married?" And he goes, "Oh, I told you were blonde with beautiful eyes and a great personality. And she just has hopes. She has hopes." And he goes, "Yeah, you're definitely going to get to meet her. You can come meet my mom and my aunt." And he goes, "I only give the biggest compliments about you." Okay.
I
So you're into me, right? You're into me. And then he says, "Last night, don't get me wrong, biggest compliments to you and how you look and dress and everything, but I feel close to you in a friend way.
Oh my
And
god.
and I hope in a sense we will fall in love. But at this moment, I don't know how I feel. And in these days that you're here, I want to see how it goes." So when he says all this about her, she's like, "What?"
Good job.
I love my record scratch. Okay. When he says all that, it's like, literally, like, "What are you talking about?" And she goes, "We've already been saying, I love you. We've already been saying that." And
That was crazy to me.
yeah.
You've been saying "I love you" to her.
And now he's like, "Not feeling it."
Oh my god.
And he says, "Yeah, yeah, I know." He says, "But for me, it can't happen overnight." And she goes, "Okay, but I'm not saying we're just friends. Like, we've really clicked. I put my life on hold for 3 weeks to see where
Yeah.
this goes for 3 weeks." And he goes, "Yeah, we're going to see how it goes. We're going to see if there's chemistry, but I'm not feeling it for you in a romantic way." This was
What?
awful.
She came to Croatia.
I, I'm very upset with this.
That's a big commitment. This is like, an 8th grade dance all over again. When, like, the boy asks the girl next to you, and you're like, "Oh, I thought he
Oh,
was coming over to talk to
yeah,
me. I guess
it's like
not."
a it's like a John Hughes movie where the guy's like looking at the girl and he's coming
Yep.
over, and then she's like, And then
Mhm.
he goes, and then she's like, "Oh,
Yeah, that happened to me.
oh, it did.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry." I'm sure it happened to me too. Oh my god. Were you in 8th grade?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it was very specific. Yeah. And
I'm
so
just
he
gonna
says,
read to you from my diary entries
uh,
right now.
he doesn't feel for her in a romantic way. And she goes, "Yesterday felt incredible. And I wanted to have my hands all over you, but I don't want to be pushy. I feel the chemistry, and it's really painful to hear that you don't." And she goes, "So you're not attracted to me?" He goes, "No, I am attracted to you.
What the heck, dude?
I am attracted to you. I'm just telling you how I feel in the moment. And in the next few days, we'll just see how it goes. So I am attracted to you. I think you're beautiful. I think you're that. I think we said I love you on the phone, but I'm not attracted to you romantically." What are we talking about? I don't
Weren't you
understand.
video chatting? And, like, what's
Yes.
happened? Does she smell? Like, what else you had all of the senses except touch and smell there,
Yeah.
on the video calls.
Hmm.
So, is one of those messed up? She have terrible psoriasis, poor girl, that you're just is there an odor? I don't think so, she seems clean. So,
Does she need Lumi?
it's just she Lumi? There's nothing wrong with a little body odor. So, I mean, like, normal body odor,
Yeah,
you don't need to, like,
yeah,
mask it.
yeah.
Anyway, um, I don't understand. I feel like there's something else going on here, and he is playing games or using this as an excuse. Um, Something else is going on here.
Is it going to be the same thing that happened last time? Is he got close to her, and then right before she was about to come and they were filming a show,
Yeah,
he had hooked back up with his ex-girlfriend, like the love of his life,
right.
and now he's like, "Well, I can't get the train off the track now."
Yeah, and I feel like
Yeah,
that's what next week's coming up scene
yeah,
was alluding to.
yeah.
This
I
is
hope we
not
see.
fair. These
Yeah,
dudes, I don't understand. Do you want someone to fly across the world and then just
yeah.
be like, "Just kidding,"
Yeah, just kidding. I'm not attracted to you in person. Okay.
and I needed you to spend thousands of dollars so that I could tell you that.
Right, to rent like a two-bedroom chalet. I mean,
Yeah.
she's in a really nice place. So, all right. So then talking to Eddie, he says, I feel bad that I've hurt her, but it's important to be honest from the beginning. And yeah, we've been building that connection for months, but I don't know why she has the impression that we're boyfriend and girlfriend. And I
You
feel
s
bad for that.
d I d You said I love you. I
Yeah.
can't.
And every time he talks to her, he's like, here she is. She's the most beautiful girl in the world. Look at her. He had flowers at the airport and ran and embraced her. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it.
If I spend these thousands of dollars and go to the Taylor Swift concert and she tells me, "Kimberly, I'm just not into you as a fan or as a best friend that she
Mm,
is in my head."
hmm.
I will be like, "What the F? What am I doing here in Canada?
Yeah.
Why did I get my passport renewed for this?"
Right. Right. Did you get your passport renewed to go see Taylor?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, you may need to go somewhere else, so it's worth
Yeah,
it.
now I can go anywhere. Now I can flee the country anytime.
Anytime. So hopefully not tomorrow. So in the
Right.
talking head, he feels bad that he's hurt her, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't know why she has this impression. It's been great to see her and talk to her. But when he saw her in person, he was still in awe of her. She's so dear to him. But it's hard to explain. He felt overwhelmed by her and did not feel the chemistry. They have seen each other one time for 2 hours. I don't
What is
understand why he's having to explain all this. Why not,
Is
like,
it the
give it a couple of days?
eyeshadow that is overwhelming? Is it the fact that she is so successful and driven and hardworking, and you have not a one job? Is that what's overwhelming to you? That she
Right.
is too self you were looking for a more demure woman who, like, needs you even though you have nothing to provide? Is that what it is?
Well, remember, when he was driving to the airport, he's like, "I don't deserve her. She's
Yeah.
so accomplished."
Mhm.
Mm, I don't
Or
know.
is he not just into,
What?
her type of person? And
Oh,
he
he
is trying to convince himself and his mom that he is.
oh, okay. But then why'd he have that girlfriend for 7 years? But he wasn't
Why
into
did
her
he
either.
never hang out with that other girlfriend?
Mhm. Okay. It's food for thought. It's food for thought.
I don't want to, speculate, but
Well,
I
you did,
just did.
but you just did.
Yeah,
Okay.
this whole
It's okay.
podcast is things I don't wanna do, but actually do wanna do and do. I
Listen,
just don't wanna get in trouble for doing them.
you're not
That's
gonna
more accurate.
you're not gonna get in trouble because you're not on your podcast where you're
You'll get in trouble,
I'll get in trouble. So,
and then I'll be replaced by Amy Archer for good.
people think you're the same person anyway.
Exactly.
So anyway, she's crying. And it's sad because she
I was
feels like
like,
rejected.
"Oh."
It's awful. And she's like, listen, I appreciate you being honest, but I don't want to feel like I'm investing in something if you don't feel the same. And I don't want to feel like a fool.
Mhm.
And he says, Vanya, you are the most amazing person ever. I have nothing but compliments. And I'll just tell you how I feel as it goes. Is that okay with you? And she's like, Okay." And he goes, "You wanna slap me? Go ahead and slap me. You wanna slap me?" And
I
she's like,
wanna
"Mm,
slap him.
I wanna slap him." I think
Can she
it's
just cut her ties now, go on a dating app, find
yes.
somebody else? Because she's there.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think so. So, and they're
Didn't that
talking
happen to several I think that's happened to a couple of our couples.
yeah, it's fine. You're already there for 3 weeks. I
Yeah.
mean, um, in the talking head, she says in the talking head, she's wearing much better eyeshadow.
Mm.
Yeah, and she says, "My mind is completely blown. I'm hopeful he'll wanna try to work on it while I'm here, and I'm gonna give him time and just be hands off and see what happens." That's right, play hard to get.
Mhm.
Now you're like, "I'm here, and you swing by. If I'm home, I'll go out with you, but otherwise, I'll be
Yeah, I'm
busy."
making other plans.
Yeah, I'll be busy. I'll be on
Yeah.
Hinge. I'll be on Hinge
Mhm.
or Tinder or wherever she found him in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to Sunny and Veah.
Okay.
Okay. Um, she is heartbroken. And I was really trying to analyze her today to figure out why do we think she looks so much older than 25?
A
Um,
rough stretch of road. She's
yeah,
been through a lot.
she's been through a lot. I think her face is very sad and sort of downturned.
Yeah, she lives
And
in Florida and maybe doesn't wear sunscreen all the time.
I just think that the huge eyelashes make you look a little
Yeah,
cray cray. And, she's got those like tape in hair extensions that we can see in every shot.
yeah,
And I just think if she went a little more natural, she would look younger.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how she does anything with those talons. Those nails
Um,
are so long. Blows my mind. How do you do it?
I don't know. That's ASMR.
Oh, I do
Yeah,
yeah, I love ASMR. I don't
yeah.
love tapping, though. I choose other kind of ASMR videos, but I'm very particular. Um, they're those curved, like, nails too,
Mhm, mhm.
which is very um,
People learn to adapt. They learn how to go to the
yeah.
bathroom. They learn how to
I mean, she was typing like this, like the pads of her fingers were
yeah.
very, impressive. Uh, no, I think she's been through a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
Obviously, yes. She's
there's
been through a
more on
lot.
Reddit that keeps coming out,
Yeah.
and it's very sad, and I think she just needs to be in therapy and not on a reality show.
Something that I saw, and it was probably like a clip from Reddit that came. I'm sorry, I keep messing with my hair. My bangs are driving me crazy. Um, if you're watching on video, this is on video, guys. Um, I saw something on Facebook that was like probably a screenshot from Reddit that was saying about she was in a sex trafficking situation.
Yeah, so there's a little, like, debate about if that's true or not, but some
Mhm.
people are saying, yes, she was sex trafficked, and she was in a treatment center for an ED,
Uh-huh.
and then that treatment center was actually, like, super shady, very cult-like, and got in trouble because some of those places turn into abusive situations
Oh, yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
So, I think she's been through a lot more than she told Sonny about.
Mhm.
And then he said, "I understand, my dad left." And I was like,
Not the same.
"Oh boy, you don't understand." But I mean, it's horrible that your dad left. I'm sure that was really traumatic, but if this girl was in a sex trafficking ring,
Mhm. Yeah, it's not
then
the
it's
same.
not the same.
No, it's nothing, but
I
she
don't want
didn't
a
say that.
drama, like, whatever trauma
Mhm,
Olympics
mhm,
this,
right.
but she wins the gold.
Yeah, it seems pretty bad, and she does seem very sad, you
Yeah,
know? So she says, "I'm heartbroken about this. He hasn't texted me. I'm gonna text him to ask if we can meet up." And he writes back, "I don't wanna talk to you. Just leave me alone. I don't want anything to do with you. You are heartless and don't give a damn about nobody's feelings, and you broke my heart." I was like, "Wow."
yeah,
He
he
just
has some strong feelings.
yeah. Also, he seems a little immature sometimes in his reactions, I feel.
Yeah,
Um, okay, so in the talking head, she says, last night when I was talking to him, I didn't show a lot of emotion, no crying or anything, just anger, but that's how I grew up. Nobody
yeah,
ever showed emotion or cried. And so he probably doesn't even understand how hurt I actually am. But I know the fight was my fault. And I'm worried the relationship is over. So she goes to the sloppy. Not only have I yawned twice now, I just burped. So she goes to the shop. It's, you know what, guys?
it's no, that drink.
It's the cloud water. It's making me burp. So she goes out to the shopping plaza and asks Rory to come and meet her. She's like, I don't want to just stay in the room or whatever. So she gets a pineapple and then she asked this vendor in this open air market in Africa, "Do you have Apple Pay?" Do you think she was kidding or do you think she really just didn't know?
I can't she doesn't really seem to have a sense of humor.
Well, yeah.
Unless it was staged by the show and they were like, "No, use your keep pushing it."
Yeah, you could do
'Cause she
Apple
kept
Pay.
asking. She's like, "On your phone?
Like a scanner?
The
Do you have it?
scanner? Do you have
Yeah.
this?" And the lady was like, "I have no idea what you're talking about."
By the way, that piece of pineapple was 15 rand, which is 86 cents.
Yeah, that sounds right. That
Yeah,
sounds even high.
really?
Yeah.
It's like $1 for a snack.
I know, but, like, I know Mexico, if you go to Mexico, like, the
Mm,
fruit is so cheap,
yeah, yeah.
so I would
Um,
think there. Anyway, the
okay.
lady poor lady,
She was like
"You gotta
she's
get cash, I don't understand."
looking around like, "Why are you" I think they probably walked around that market, found somebody that spoke English that was willing to be filmed,
Yeah.
and then told her, "Go and buy it and just tell her you'll pay with Apple Pay." And she's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
they
that
might
sounds
have set
good.
her up to look really
Yeah,
dumb.
that sounds great." So, she's surprised the vendor doesn't have Apple Pay, so she's like, "Rory, where are you? Will you please come and save me?"
This is why she needed someone to come with her.
Yeah. What
Didn't
would she
have
have
to be
done?
Rory, though.
Sh
Could have
what
been one of those friends
one
that
of
were
those?
all, "Babe, I love you, babe, babe,
"Oh,
babe," and just pry
babe."
those 2 apart somehow.
Yeah, yeah. So he comes and he saves her with the cash, and he also gets a pineapple, so it's a $2 treat. So
Did
I hope
you hear she said as he's paying, "Do they have, like, change in their money too?"
mhm. He goes, "Yeah, it's coins." Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
She has been failed by the
She's never
ins
been anywhere. I don't know if
I
she's
don't
one
think she was home I don't even think she was homeschooled, like, or regular or schooled, like, no one they
well, she's a physical therapist.
Oh, yeah, so she does that and that's hard.
Yeah, it's hard school to get into. It's hard to be a physical therapist. It's hard to get into physical therapy school.
Yeah, no, it totally is.
Now,
Hmm.
she could be a PT assistant, but it did her thing said physical therapist and yeah.
Well, I'm even more impressed with her because I think she probably had the schooling similar to, like, those Amish kids on that show that I was telling you about, where they didn't know who George Washington was,
Or
and
the Plath kids.
science.
Mhm.
They didn't
No.
study science because
Mm,
they didn't believe in science, like,
right.
so that's very impressive that she's a physical therapist.
Okay. Or even a physical therapist assistant, either one.
Yeah,
She's got a good job.
yeah.
So, Rory says, "Look, you gotta find a way to make it work with, Sonny, you know?" And she goes, "He wants nothing to do with me, Rory." And he goes, "You just need to say, 'I'm sorry,' and tell him how you will make it right, because I think he fully doesn't understand you, and he probably feels in the dark. And if you just open up and tell him a little bit more about your life, maybe he could trust you some more." So, in the talking head, Rory goes, their fight is probably a lack of understanding. And I don't know why she acts the way she does, but it has everything to do with her background. Her story is not pretty. But
Mhm.
why aren't these two together? They seem to really understand
He's
each other.
so nice, I
He's
know.
so nice. He's so nice. So she says, Sonny finally messaged her and he's ready to talk because production told him he has to because they're there to film
Mhm.
and he's ready to talk, and she can't wait to talk it out with him, but she's feeling very anxious about it. She's, like, putting on her makeup and stuff. And the talking head, Sonny says, "After the conversation yesterday, I went home, I went to bed, and I prayed for sleep. Otherwise, I was gonna go crazy. And now I feel better, and I need to go" God, sorry. "I need to go meet with her to figure out what is going on." You guys, in the Pink Shade shop, we have shirts that say "Live, Laugh, Yawn."
Yeah.
I wonder if this drink is making
Makes a
me
great holiday gift. Is
this
there
is
no
just
caffeine in there?
oh, no, there's no caffeine in here. What am I, Katie with my monster drinks? I'm gonna stop drinking it. Okay. So, all right. So he arrives to the room and she gives him flowers and he goes, "Okay, thank you for the red roses, but I still want to talk about what happened. Let's go to the balcony because that's where the cameraman is standing and waiting for us." So,
I don't feel like any couple on this show should be anywhere near a balcony. I don't trust any of them. No.
that's a great point. So they stand out there and she looks so like Eeyore, like so miserable.
Yeah.
And he says, "You hurt me deeply, so explain yourself." And she says, "I was scared to travel alone." And he says, "But that's not fair because you were lying to me about it." And she goes, "I know I should have told you. And I wanted to tell you before I came, but I was afraid it would create more problems." And he goes, "But you should have just told me." And she goes, "You don't understand me. I've had a lot of loss in my life. I was taken from my parents and I've worked really hard to have a stable life now. And I was afraid if I told you then you would leave me like everybody else does. And her past trauma has an effect on her being able to trust people.
Mhm.
He says, I understand. My father left our family when he was young. And of course, I understand because I've also been through a lot. Okay. And but maybe he's gone through some terrible shit too, and we
I
just don't
know,
know,
I don't mean to
yes.
laugh, I'm sure he really has, and having your dad leave can be super traumatic, but it's not quite the same.
And also now he lives there with his dad, so things are fine.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So he says, but I just don't understand this relationship with Rory. And she goes, there's no romantic relationship there. He really is just somebody I can trust and depend on. Like, he knows my family and I know his family. And he was there when my brother passed away. And right after that, like the two of us, we were going to have a baby. We lost the baby. And it was like the hardest and darkest time in my life. He's like, what? I mean, he's like,
Mhm.
whoa. And she tells us after her brother died, she was never the same. And she thinks that's why she and Rory are so close because they went through so much together.
Yeah.
And she just wants him to understand she doesn't see Rory in a romantic way at all. And she wants to be with him. And he's her guy and all that. So the talking head, he says this makes him understand her a bit more and wishes she would have opened up before.
Yeah.
So he says, okay, I'm understanding you more now. Can you please just be open and trust me? I want to be that person I want to be that person, that you can trust. And she's like, I'm so sorry. Will you forgive me? And he says yes. And they hug. And she goes, are you going to stay the night? But don't keep me up all night with your kisses. Okay. I was like, what?
That was really weird. I need my sleep tonight.
Probably the first night she didn't sleep
Yeah.
because it was travel. And the second night they were mad at each other.
Yeah.
And now tonight she's like, don't try to poke me in the back with your wiener like Brian. You know, sorry.
Gross.
Oh, who
But it
was
all is making more sense. Like, her being so, like, weird about the food that he wanted to give her, her not wanting to travel by herself as a female, like,
Mhm.
all of that is making sense. By the way, everyone on Reddit is like, "She has a camera crew with her." No, they don't usually when they travel. They are self-filming themselves. You
Yeah,
can see it. They're like
yeah,
this
yeah,
at the
and
airport.
sometimes they have the stick,
Yeah.
and they're
They
filming
don't have the camera crew with them when they're flying.
the camera crew is there when they land,
Yeah.
but it's not through the airport on the airplane.
Yeah.
No.
So, after what she's been through, it's no wonder she wanted someone with her when she's traveling to another country.
I agree, and maybe if she goes again, she'll
Sh
feel more comfortable with everything, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
She should have just told him or brought someone else with her.
Both of those things should have happened.
Yeah.
So in the talking aid, he says, I want her to trust me and tell me things, and I don't want to be a jealous boyfriend. But at the same time, it's hard not to be insecure. And let's see, maybe he says, maybe it's competition and too much bonding. Is that what he said?
He said he's worried that she and Rory have been through so much together with their trauma together that
Mm-hmm.
now it's like they have this special bond that he can't even compare with.
Yeah, because what I wrote is maybe it's competition and too much bonding. But he wonders if he will be enough for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
He's like, "We need our own trauma together."
What can we do to let's make a new trauma on this
Yeah.
trip.
Let's kill somebody together and then have to hide the body.
Y'all, it's November. It's cozy weather. It's getting darker earlier, and I have a lot to be thankful for. You know what I'm really thankful for? I found a new product this year. It's Lumi. Where has Lumi been all my life? How did I live without it before I knew about it? And why am I so thankful for it? Because Lumi is a deodorant like no other. It was created by a female OBGYN who discovered BO isn't just an underarm thing, it's an all over thing. So she developed a pH optimized deodorant that's clinically proven to block odor everywhere, not just your pits, but your privates, your feet, and beyond. And the best part, no matter where you use it, Lumi is proven to keep working for up to 72 hours. If this amazing female doctor and 3 days of odor control isn't something to be thankful for, I don't know what is. And right now, there's a special offer. New customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code. Use code PINKSHADE at lumideodorant.com. That's LUMEDEODORANT.com. Lumi has formulated a new product to keep you smelling fresh and help you stay drier. It's Lumi's whole body deodorant plus sweat control. The same 72-hour odor control now with 72-hour sweat control. You guys, I've tried this. It's great. You can experience the same outrageously effective 72-hour odor control while keeping sweat under control. It's baking soda free, paraben free, and pH balanced for safe use below the belt. You can choose from a variety of fresh, bright scents like tangerine, lavender, or my favorite is toasted coconut. You guys, I love anything with coconut. Lumi Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, a cream 2 deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice. So I recommend the Starter Pack. And as a special gift for our listeners, new customers also will get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code Pink Shade. And if you combine the 15% off code with the already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off the starter pack. Use code PINKSHADE for 15% off your first purchase at lumideodorant.com. That's LUMEDEODORANT.com. And show your support when they ask where you found it and say, Pink Shade sent me. Thanks. Okay, Niles and Matilda.
Oh, God. Okay. So
Yes,
they're going back.
Niles and Matilda. Boy, Matilda had quite a rack on her this episode. Like
What?
she was,
You noticed that too. I wasn't going to say anything.
I did, and Matt,
She's like this in the car, and
it was
then
like,
her boobs are up to. There's one boob like up
yeah.
to there.
I was like,
She's a
you.
voluptuous lady.
I was like, go girl. I was Matt and I were texting, and I texted him back, and I was like, at this exact moment we're texting, I'm watching 90 Day, and oh my god, Matilda she got the tatas. She looks good.
Her sister and her mom are also both well endowed.
Yes, it's a family thing.
Mhm. Yeah.
She looked great. She was in a very,
I think she's so pretty. Yeah, I think she's
nice.
so cute.
I think she's so cute.
Yeah. So they're going back to her village to introduce Niles and tell them the news about the wedding. And Matilda is spraying like way too much cologne behind his ears.
And
Like
all over his clothes.
and on his clothes.
Does he
So
smell bad?
or is she like Ashley the witch, like giving Manuel some sort of like spiritual bath before he gets there? Maybe like smelling behind the ears is something they do in her culture. I didn't get the ear thing. Is that a commonplace for
Yeah,
people
people
to spray?
people put perfume behind their ear. It's
Okay, I
on like
should do
these,
that.
yeah, behind your ear. But it was strange. And
It
he
was
looked at some point, like when I'm trying to like brush them or whatever, at some point he was like looking side to side, like, when is this gonna be over?
yeah, he's just sitting there like, "It's almost over. Just let it go.
Let her do it.
Mom,
Let her do it.
mom, stop."
Yeah.
So, they are flying to her village because she had driven to pick him up at the airport and stay in that town close to the airport, but now they're flying. It's her first time on a plane. She's very scared. It would be weird if you weren't scared. People don't have wings, and so it's
True.
normal to be scared.
Yeah.
So she's like, "I am so lucky to have Niles spoiling me by flying us, even if this plane must kill me." She cracks me up. And they're joking around, like, they're very fun together.
I love their love. I'm into it.
I know.
Mm.
So they're staying at a hotel because Matilda's family's house has a lot of relatives living in it, and it would be way too stimulating for Niles. I mean, there were 3 people and a baby in Chidi's house, and it broke Renee's brain. So
Well, she got her own room and she was still an
it was
asshole.
still yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Niles would never react the same way Renee did. I shouldn't even have them in the same sentence. So,
No, it did seem like a lot of people lived in that house.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they're going to meet her family. He's getting his hair cut. And then he kind of blames Matilda to the barber. He's still doing that word gymnastics. And he goes, "Well, she was so excited. She told them we were getting married on this trip, but we're not."
It's not what happened, but all right.
It's not what happened, Niles. So the barber says, her family will value truth. Lying is very disgraceful in our culture, and her family can even curse you if you lie to them. This poor man was already so scared.
The barber is really smiling while he says it too.
Mhm.
He's like, "Oh yeah,
I
they're
get
gonna
to
curse
scare
you."
an American by telling them about
Yeah.
curses. And then Niles goes, "Good gravy." It's like, I'm a God-fearing guy, but I believe God could have other forces try to hurt me.
Cute.
So, she has them rehearse what he's gonna say because she's worried he's gonna do his masking thing and then mislead the family because he doesn't want to upset them. And so he says, "What I'm gonna say is this trip was for us to get to know each other, and so far it's going wonderfully." And he says, I'm gonna tell them I never actually told you all that we were getting married, and I didn't tell her to tell you that. And she's like, "Don't do this again. Stop."
Yeah, stop. We have a new story now. We're
Yeah.
sticking with the new story. Yeah.
You keep trying to get out of this in every conversation.
He does.
Just admit you effed up. So just say, "We're not getting married until the second trip." Don't lie. Then my mom will think you're a liar, and that'll be even worse.
Yeah.
So he says, "But the barber told me that if I promised something and it didn't happen, that you might curse me." And Matilda's like, "Yup, good luck." So they go to meet the family and she's giving him instructions like, "Hug my mom." And the mom and the sister come right up to him smiling. They're so excited and they're hugging him and he's learned some phrases and it's very cute. And he's playing with the baby and the little kid. Like it was so cute. He was doing a really good job, I thought.
They were like, "Here's the baby." He's
Yeah.
like, "Okay, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hold the
all right.
head. Yep.
Yeah,
I got it. So he said it reminds me of being at my grandma's house, and that was very overwhelming for me, but it still felt kind of safe because it was a family, and I kind of wish my family was here. But they're nice. They seem really nice. There
Yeah.
are also chickens all around. So thank God Renee's not there.
She would have
So
been she would have been happy about that.
yeah. So unless they're eating them. So the uncle asks what his mission is. And he says, "Well, I came to get to know Matilda and meet her and meet all of you. And I'm thinking about marrying her."
Just think they're engaged. He's giving
Thinking.
her a ring.
I'm
He's just
thinking
thinking
about
about
it.
it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the uncle translates and he says, he came to meet her and he wants to take Matilda away so they can become one flesh.
Wow. Wow.
That's not what he said.
Not what he said, but that sounded sexual. But
Yeah,
okay.
it's not sexual.
Mhm.
And also, um, that implies that he is ready to get married. And he just said, "I'm thinking about marrying her." So the family's like, "Yay, great. We welcome you to the family. One flesh. Amazing." And the
Do
uncle says,
it. Do it.
"Do
Do it.
it right now." So the uncle says, "Well, it's great to meet you because when we chatted on the video call, you told me, you were going to come and do the knocking and do the marriage."
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
Niles is sitting there like, "Don't correct him, don't correct him." And Matilda is side-eyeing him like, "Don't correct him," because I know he was just dying to be like, "Actually, I never actually said that we were
Yeah.
gonna do the marriage this time."
I just
Uh,
agreed when you said it. I
when
just
you
said,
said
"Yes,
it,
that's
yeah, it's
happening,"
different.
but I didn't say it
Yeah,
directly. Right,
yeah.
right.
So he just freezes and doesn't know what to do, and then Matilda, like, is telling him what to say. It's fully, like, ventriloquist, and he says, "So I was thinking of doing the knocking on this trip and coming back to do the marriage." And the uncle translates, and all of the relatives are suddenly it's like the music gets dark, and they're like, "Peas and carrots, peas and carrots. I don't like that. Why are they doing that?" And, the mom is like, "No, that's not how things are done." And he doesn't know what they're saying, but he can tell that they are angry. Even with
Mm.
his autism spectrum disorder, he can tell that they are glaring right
Well,
now.
they went from being, like, all smiley happy
Yeah.
to, like, "What?"
What?
Mad. Yeah.
Yeah. So finally, the uncle is like, "Okay, they are fine that you do the knocking, and they will give you 2 months to come back and do the marriage."
Mhm.
And he's like, "Oh, that okay, well, that could be tricky. I just don't wanna promise something and get cursed." What if I say I'm coming on September 1st and I don't come back until September 2nd? I get cursed. And
Right.
so Matilda's like, "Just say you'll do the knocking, you'll figure everything else out soon." And he's like, "Once I do the knocking, the timer starts
That's
and the
right.
cursing."
Right. He needs to understand if we mean an exact calendar 60 days
Right.
or is 2-month a
It's like
loose
a
interval.
lunar calendar,
Yeah,
like
or
how
does it
yeah,
mean, like, you could start in September, it could really be December because technically those are 2 months. Like,
right.
he
Mhm.
needs to get the
Yeah.
rules of this, yes.
And he's like, "Bring up the ring." Okay, we'll show them the ring. He's like, "I will try to come back as soon as I can, but this ring that I gave her is a promise ring that I'm coming back, but I can't give you a date because I don't want
Does
you to
that
feel safe.
culture respect the tradition of the ring? Does that culture know that a ring means that? Do you know what I
I
mean?
don't know.
If that doesn't mean anything,
Right.
would it be more important if you'd be like, "I'm going to buy your family
Your water buffalo. Yeah.
12 chickens," or the whatever, and
Yeah.
that is a part of my bride price that I leave
Mhm.
with you now as a would
Yeah.
that mean more to them than he got her a ring, which is great in his culture?
Right, exactly. So, the family likes this and they accept it, and then he goes around and he shakes everyone's hand with one hand behind his back, like, very formal, and he's saying thank you in their language, and the mom is just giggling. She thinks he's so cute that he's learned their language and customs a little, and, it's very cute,
It
and they're
is.
all happy, and then the food comes out, and they have Niles say the prayer, and so they love that, and he thanks them for welcoming him to their family. It's very cute. I was so impressed with him. I thought he did such a good job in a very tricky situation.
Remember in the car where she's like, "Don't say you got food poisoning."
Yeah, she goes, "Don't say food poisoning," and he goes, "Okay, I can say stomach upset, but just don't
Yeah,
blame it. If you say food poisoning, that's like blaming it on the food that my
right.
mom cooked, so
Yeah.
don't say that
So
next time."
if you have to poop while you're at
Yeah,
my house or
yeah,
vomit,
mhm.
don't say food poisoning,
Yeah,
just say it's just a naturally occurring thing that
yeah,
happens
you
to you.
got
I
the
don't know.
flu or something,
Yeah,
but you brought it from America. It has
right.
nothing to do with them. Yeah.
And now all of you are sick. Um, okay, let's move to Tigerlily and Adnan. So last night my husband and I watched the last episode of Slow Horses. So we started watching it because Sarah Carradine of Crime Scene recommended it.
Okay.
And so we started
Love
watching it
Sarah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we started watching it at the beach. We watched every episode. We had 1 to go, so we watched it last night. So it's really good, Kimberly.
Really?
But
Okay,
you ha
I
you
add it to my list.
but you have to pay attention,
Yeah,
and, like,
I'm
sometimes I'm
fine
like,
with that. Yeah.
sometimes I'd like but I like to know in advance, so I have to pay
I like
attention.
both kind of shows. Like, can I diamond paint and just play
Yes.
games on my phone, or do I
Yeah.
have to watch?
You have to watch.
Yeah.
And it's Gary Oldman and Kristen
Oh,
Scott
wait, my
Thomas.
brother told me about this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said there's a Gary Oldman show that he's obsessed with.
It's so good. So last night with the last episode of season 4, which just ended, and so we watched the last episode, and he's like, "Wah, wah, when's the next season coming out?" I said, "They say that the next season is already filmed, but they're gonna like put it out next year, and then probably they put them out faster than most shows, but it's sad when they're over."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and we never watch anything together. So he was like, "Oh, what are we gonna watch next?" I was like, "Slow your roll."
Oh, no, you need at least one show that you're watching together. I think that's good for your marriage.
It's usually Saturday Night Live, um,
That's fine.
but I'm always out of town on Saturdays now. So anyway, so she's the point of that is that right afterwards, I clicked it back to the regular TV, off the streamer and off the Apple TV or whatever, and this was what was on because that's where I
Mhm.
had paused it when he came in the
And he
room.
saw Tigerlily's face for the first time.
Well, she's in the car, okay? It's the scene where she's in the car reading, "My love, I can't wait to see you. The driver will bring you to me. Love, your husband." And then in her talking head, she goes, "Normally, I would be thrilled to get in a car and have flowers and a card from my husband. But after the shirtless photo, I am feeling disrespected, and a card and flowers won't change that. And my plans for the trip were to work on our issues while we work on baby making. But now with the photo, it's all got out the window, and he won't be able to schmooze my anger away." So Dave is standing there. So he's still sitting on the couch. And he's starting to get up. He goes, "What? What is this? What? Her name is Tiger Lily?" And I go, "Yeah." I go, "It's before the night." I go, and so I was like, "Her name is Tiger Lily, and she's from Frisco. And I've already asked my friend Jenny and Jeff if they know her." And he goes, "Oh my
Also, her
God."
name is not Tigerlily for real. She
I know
changed it.
she changed it, but he
Yeah.
goes, "Stop."
He didn't like it. He doesn't want you to do that when you're role playing later.
He goes, "Stop, stop."
It's like having sex with a baby. They don't need a baby. They
Yeah,
have
no,
a
that
baby.
yeah, she is a baby.
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah." I said, "She's like, had this like terrible ex-husband who gave her all this money, and now she's married this like 25-year-old Muslim guy."
Young I think
And,
he's younger.
and Dave goes, "No, on the screen it just said he's 23."
Mhm.
Dave's like, "She's 40-something married to that. What?
Is he new to this show? Come on, he doesn't listen when you're talking.
No, he like walked into the kitchen and was like getting
Tell
his
him about
eyes and
Debbie,
the
Miss
70s.
Debbie, and Osama, because that age difference, I think, is our biggest one.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But he didn't like it when I was like, and she's from Frisco and she doesn't know Jenny and Jeff because I asked. And he goes, stop doing that.
She has to be with Cruz and Chey all the time because Cruz and Chey are the ones that do her makeup and her hair. And I take 4 hours to get ready because you want me to look good, baby, right?
Oh my God. He did not like it. It was very funny. It was very funny. So,
Wait, can I ask you a serious question?
yeah.
Did her face look different now in her new talking heads?
Mm-mm.
See, I think everything looks bigger. Her lips look bigger. Her
Maybe she's
face,
pregnant.
I don't know. Or she just got more injections.
You know, another thing somebody pointed out, you know, when we saw her in that first episode buy that gray $27,000 watch,
Mhm. Yeah,
we
where
never
did that watch go?
we never saw it again and we've never seen him wear it. And this episode specifically, they zoomed in on his watch a couple of times.
And it was not that watch.
No, it was like a black and gold watch that was
So, what's
hideous.
I need to go on Reddit then because or your listeners. So, was I wrong? Was it a women's watch? There's no way. It was a man's watch.
I think you were right. It was a man's watch, but people when I've seen people mention it, they're like, "Oh, the watch that disappeared because she didn't buy it or whatever." Like it was a fake
Oh, it was
thing.
just to show it was her intro scene to
Yeah.
show how rich she is,
Yeah.
where she was shopping for it.
Yeah. If anybody knows the answer or Reddit can tell us, let me know.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
You're a Reddit genius. So, she arrives at the hotel room and he has candles, real candles. Again, you guys, you could buy them where you just turn them on the bottom.
I
You
know, I
don't
just
have to
have
make this fire hazard.
I know. And also, if you're going to, don't let the wax spill all over, and the housekeeping people have to scrape that up or iron it up. It's a
And then
pain in the butt.
he had bouquets of flowers still in the paper all around. I was like, "What are you doing?"
I wrote, "Why are the bouquets of flowers in plastic wrap just laying on the floor?"
Next to
You
the
scatter the flowers. You don't just take a bouquet in the plastic, plop it down in a row, and it's like plop, plop, plop. What?
Oh my god, looks like a fire hazard. Looks like it's gonna go up in smoke at any
Yeah.
moment.
Mm-mm.
So, in the talking head, he goes, "I made it nice for her. I haven't seen her for 2 months, and, I missed her. We're trying to make a baby, and I can't wait to do all the things in the bedroom with my wife."
Okay.
Okay. So, he's like,
With his
"It"
whatever, the big the yeah.
yeah, so gross. "It'll make you like this." Um, so he says, "Hello, baby. Are you ready to work on making a baby?"
Oh my
And
god,
and then
not
he's
sexy at all.
no, and he goes, "I have to clear the flowers and the candles before there's a fire." And she goes,
I'm glad
"Okay."
you saw them. They were for 3 seconds, and then now they have
Right.
to go.
Well, they're those tiny little photos that burn after 4 minutes
Yeah,
anyway. So they sit down to talk, and he
I think
goes,
they were tea lights.
"Yeah, they were like little tea lights." Yeah,
Mhm,
that's a 20-minute burn.
mhm.
Yeah. So they sit to talk, and he says, "I can't believe you're real. You're here in person, and here you're here with me, and I love you so much, my queen." And she's just like staring. And she goes, "Why are you acting like everything is fine?" And he goes, "I don't know what you're talking about. You asked me to delete the thing, and I did. And now you're here with me in person, in real life, and everything is fine."
Oh my god.
Now, did you notice they had the waiter's tray next to them, and there was a huge salad and like a chicken or a salmon and like a dessert sitting there? I was like, were they going
How
to
did
eat after this scene, or what
how did I
happened?
miss that? I usually am so attuned to the food.
I was like, so maybe she was like, "When I get there, I need a big salad
Yeah.
with a side of salmon and a cheesecake, okay?" So, in the talking head, he goes, "Look, I shared a bathroom selfie on social media, and she's so mad, and she said delete it, and I did, and she's still not happy." So he says, "So all of this stuff I have done, the flowers and the candles, it doesn't matter." And she said, "But how would you feel if I did that, had my shirt off in a picture? Would you be upset?" And he said, "Huh, I would kill you, baby."
Oh my god. That took a turn. That
He
took a turn.
It was real serious. He goes,
Yeah.
I would kill you.
I think he might be serious.
And she's like, what? And he says, this is the 100th time I have told you. I am a man and you are a woman and things are different.
She's literally just finding out again.
Right.
I think she has, memento brain because every day or so, she realizes that women and men are treated not equally.
Mm-mm. No. Um, and then talking heads together, she goes, she says, you just don't like it when I explain to you about the double standard and it should be the same for men and women. And he goes, I don't need you to explain it to me. You don't understand. It makes me so, so angry. She's like,
I don't need
okay,
that.
baby. So he goes, so everything I tell you, you want me to do the same. And she goes, yeah, that's only fair. And he says, why are you making a problem now? I did all this nice stuff for you, and my time is going into the trash. In the future, I won't do any of this stuff. I will just act normal, like any normal man in the world. And she goes, this is the problem. I'm always scared to bring things up because I don't want to lose you, but I should be able to tell you things that bother me. And he says, well, it would be great if you acted a little bit happy about these things that I did. And she goes, okay, so you want me to be fake? And he goes, yes, a lot fake.
Mhm.
And so he's really mad that she's not like super appreciative of the flowers and the,
Yeah, 'cause
yeah,
he's like, "I'm the man, I don't have to do things, you're just supposed to love me, and
yeah,
I put in actual effort, which I did not have to do because you're my wife,
right,
and I did it, and you're not even grateful."
right. That's exactly what he's saying. He's like, favorite brother Thayer would never.
Would never. He's not buying candles.
Mm-mm. And he says, okay, okay, well, we can talk about this, but not just the first minute that we see each other. And she goes, well, I'm not going to just keep it inside. And he goes, I'm done with these things. And he goes into the bathroom. So in the talking head, oh, bless you. And the talking head, he says, she's not being respectful by talking to me like this. I haven't seen her in 2 months. I don't know why she's doing this. She likes to make a problem with me, and I don't like it. You guys, this is not going to end well,
There's been a problem every time they've seen each other.
except for that wedding night, man.
Yeah.
So he comes out of the bathroom and he goes, okay, I don't want to fight with you. Let's sit and talk. So he takes her into the bedroom. He's trying to get her closer to the
Yeah.
bed,
Mhm.
closer to the bed. So they sit on the bed and he says, I don't mean to make you upset. And I shared that picture and I'm sorry about that. And she goes, I know you didn't hurt me on purpose. She goes so deep into this baby voice when
Yeah.
after he apologizes. And she
Mhm.
goes, but why is it okay for you to do these things? And then you have an extreme reaction if I say I will do it, like like you would kill me.
I'm just a little baby, you don't wanna kill a little baby, do you?
And he says, it's just different for men and women showing their bodies. And, like swimming, I can show my chest, but you can't show yours. So we've already had this story, but we're
Yeah.
going to have it again.
I had Nicole in the scuba suit.
Yeah. Nicole and Mahmoud. And no one knows where they are. They're still wandering around Los Angeles. Can you take to the Reddit to find out what happened to them?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna keep a I have to make a list of
Because
things
I
to
would
look up
really
on
like
the
to know what happened to them.
Also, if you don't know what we're talking about, that's probably my favorite image in the, 17 years of 90 days that we've been watching is Nicole looking Eeyore downtrodden in that little, like, surf suit,
Yeah.
whatever that wetsuit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wetsuit, and she had that head thing on her head. She's
Yeah.
like, oh my god. And so he says, well, she says about regarding the swimming and stuff. And she goes, well, I don't care about the religion part, but out of respect for me, you don't want people seeing my body. And so I don't want people seeing your body. Your body is just for me, honey. And he kind of laughs like, you dumb, dumb girl, you
Yeah.
know?
But this is exactly the same conversation that somebody else recently had because she's like, "I don't want your legs shown. Because what if I say, 'Look at a woman's looking at your sexy legs,' and then he's like, 'My legs are not sexy. I'm a man.'"
It was Mohammed and Ashley on Forbidden Love. Is her name Ashley? His name was Mohammed, and
Oh, yes, that's a yes, that
mhm,
might be who you're yes.
yes,
Mhm.
and she converted at the end of the show. Spoiler alert.
Mhm.
Okay, so in the talking head, he says, "She wants to be a wife for a Muslim husband, and she will respect my religion. And so I don't have to wear a shirt for swimming, but I just want to move this along. I'm trying to get laid. I'll tell her I'll wear a shirt for swimming, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he says to her, he goes, I don't want to fight. I just want to make love with you and be happy and romantic. We're happy now. We fix it. This is the same thing he did to her when they went to Petra. And he was like,
Totally. Yeah.
you stop crying and now we're happy. And
Yeah.
she's like, what? And he goes,
Stop.
we're done. We discussed it. It's over.
Yeah. We're at one of the 7 wonders. It's time to stop crying now.
Be happy.
He thinks it just turns it off. And
Yeah.
then, or you just fake it and then it's fine.
Yeah. And he says, I want to be happy and romantic now. We're fixing it. So the talking head, she goes, we didn't fix the issue. And I didn't even bring up our other issues like the chiropractor. But I will believe it that he means it since he apologizes, but it doesn't go away.
No, he doesn't mean any of it. He's telling you what you want to hear so that he can get laid.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Or still you'll stop making a scene. Like,
just quit being so mouthy.
Yeah. Don't have so many emotions.
Don't have so many opinions.
Yeah.
Ugh. So she says to him in her terrible baby voice, I'm feeling better now. And baby, it's important to talk about these things. And now we can do what we came here to do. I missed you, baby.
You didn't resolve anything.
And he says, yes, let's continue why we are here, trying to make a baby. Smile now. Forget everything. I can't wait. Slams the door. That's his whole thing. Is like, did we discuss it? Now you smile. Now we make the baby. Close the door.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nothing has changed or been resolved ever.
And I'm still going to be shirtless in the pool.
Yeah.
And it's fine.
Yeah. No, like literally nothing has ever changed through anything.
Mm-mm. He continues to do the same thing over and over. And next week, he'll put another shirtless picture up.
Yeah.
Now, we have to end with Renee and Chidi.
Oh, God.
And you've got a lot of dialogue that I hope you're ready to do dramatic reading, and all your theater training is going to help you here.
Yeah.
Because, wow, did we have some words coming out of her mouth.
Okay. So, and my nose is running, but I think that will help because her mouth is running. Her nose, it's just all spewing. Yeah. So she's been sitting at the hotel door waiting for 3 days, sitting on the floor, maybe by the door. Is that him? No, that's just room service. So now he has finally agreed to meet her at the beach, and she is in the car on the cab ride, like full on manspreading and leaning back, like she's feeling herself.
She's power pose. She's power posing. Yeah.
And she's hoping that either Victoria agreed to let him see her or he's doing it regardless because he's a man and he's horny for her. Mm-hmm. So she's excited.
She's like, I hope he said to his sister.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa. Yeah. Whoa.
He even ordered the Uber to bring her to the beach so that he can break up with her. Classy. I like that. He's nice. So he's very scared to tell her though, because her reactions are scary. Yes. Her reactions are scary to everything. You could be like, Renee, nice weather, isn't it? It'd be like, how dare you bring up the weather? The weather has been abandoning me my whole life because the Jews control it and the aliens and Mothman.
Wow, we're throwing in Mothman. All right.
I think she's probably into Mothman. So she
and so are you, by the way. I mean, yeah, no shade.
Yeah. So I'm super newly obsessed. So she goes and she scares him at the beach because he doesn't recognize her voice because she's talking nice and not being like, Chidi. And so she's just like, Chidi. And then he's like, yeah.
Huh? Who's this nice voice coming my way?
Yeah. Oh, it's you, Renee. Oh, you're here. And so they hug and he says, happy to see you, which is wrong for several reasons because he can't and he's not. So
many references to seeing in the last episode and this episode.
Yeah. And then he says it's a gift to see Renee again. And I was like, nope. The gift would be seeing anyone else but Renee.
Correct.
So and
what
then
if you got to see your sister? That'd be
would be amazing. That would be a gift.
That would be a gift.
They're holding hands as they walk to the beach.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Like everything's fine because he has a bit of the I'm kind of scared, so I'm just gonna play nice because I'm too scared to actually do what I came here to do. And so they sit down and she's making jokes. She's like, "Oh, there are crabs here. They're dead." I didn't know you had crabs, Chidi.
He didn't get that joke.
No, he didn't at all.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
So, he's like, "What happened? What happened? Why are you like the way you are?" And she's like, "Today is a new day. I thought we're not gonna talk about." What? Why did you think you were gonna talk about that? That's your problem. You have to talk
She's
about it.
she's like Adnan. She's like,
Yeah, it's done.
we already talked about it. It's done.
Yeah,
You texted me. That means it's over.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Here's the thing. You came here not liking sisters." And she goes, "And I was right. Your sister proves that I was right about sisters." He's
She
like,
barely lets him talk. It's
"No,
awful. Yeah.
not he can't finish the sentence. And I was right because I didn't get along with her." That's like if you say, "I have a vision that I'm gonna get hit by a bus." And then one day you walk in front of a bus on purpose, and then you go, "See, I was right. I told you I was gonna get hit by a bus." You
It's
walked
just
in front
like
of it on purpose.
it's old love after lockup, and Zaria is her parents had a house fire, and she's blaming. She goes, "Well, my psychic said that something chaotic was going to happen, and so my psychic knew that it was going to happen. So she's also right about me and Troy." And Troy's like, "I'm sitting right here. What are you talking about?"
Also, everything Zaria does is chaotic. So that
Yeah.
was not a deep cut for the psychic to make.
Also, she thinks that the house caught on fire because she told her mom she was seeing a psychic, and her mom thought it was from the devil, and that made the house catch on fire.
Oh my god. No,
Or
it
it could
was
have been what the
faulty
dad
wiring.
said, which was
Calm down.
a faulty electrical wire.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she says, "Well, I just didn't want to sit at your house all day with your sister and your family, and maybe one day you'll find a sister a guy who will sit at your sister's house." I was like, "You went to the market, you went to those gardens, you went out several places, and you had
Eye
your own
doctor.
room
Yeah.
in that house.
Yeah.
So calm down." And he's trying to calm her down, and he's like touching her arm, and she's like, "Just don't touch me. Go touch yourself. That's what you're used to." Which
She's so
she's
awful.
all like so crass, and he's very religious, and that's
Yeah.
just not appropriate. Like,
She's just so crass, and she says everything that comes out, she's spewing it for shock value
yeah,
to be like, "Ooh, let me tell you how nasty I can be or how gross
yeah.
I can be." I mean, it just gets worse. Go ahead.
She acts like poltergeist, like she's gonna spit up pea soup any second. It's
Mhm.
just gross.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Renee is telling the producers, "I hate how Chidi's family is never at fault. It's always me." And then the producer very bravely has the guts to go,
Mhm.
"Do you ever think you're overreacting about the sister? Please don't hurt me." And she stares at the producer. And then, like in very pod person voice, she goes, "I don't ever think I overreact."
It was frightening. I'm scared of her.
It was like a possessed child ghost. Like, but where's the demon that we're normally hearing? "I don't ever think I overreact."
It's interesting that she didn't say, "I don't think I never think I overreact, but sometimes people tell me I do, but I
Yeah.
don't see it." It's not even that.
No,
There's no self-awareness there.
no.
No. Mm-mm.
And then she's talking to Chidi. She's talking over Chidi. Like, he cannot get a word in. And he's like, "Can I talk, please? Please, can I talk?" And she goes, "Go for it, Junior."
When she called him
What
junior, I was
was
like,
it?
what is happening?"
I don't understand. And then she continues to talk over him, and she's
Mhm.
like, "Look at the sand. Wow, it's a really nice day out here." Because he's taught like, "Say something. You're Chidi.
Alright, so what I was
Look at the
thinking is
sand out
if you
there. I would
come
love to
over
go
to
on a
my
boat
sister's
here
and we
instead
could
of having
just
this
try to work this
conversation. Maybe we can
out.
go out on the
Can you
water."
listen?
And
I'm
then I
just
just don't
trying to
even know
talk
why
to
I'm
you
here. I
about
came
my
to
sister,
Africa, spent all
and
this
I
money,
was
and
hoping
Mothman.
that
Why is she like, she literally just said, "I'll talk. Go ahead, talk." Like,
it was so weird, and she started going, "I'd like to go on that boat," and, "Ooh, that looks I mean, it was just so bizarre, and so I watched it last night when I was watching it after the Slow Horses, then I watched it again this morning to take the notes, and I was watching this again, and I was like, "What is she doing? What is she is she just her only goal is to be an asshole?" Like, I
yes.
could not understand what she's
I
doing
think her
here.
only goal is to be an asshole, yeah. It's
Oh,
and she's not 13.
no. She's
She is a
37.
grown woman
Yeah, with 2
with
children.
children.
Yeah.
So, and then she goes really low and she goes, I see you sucking your sister's bleeps. I have trouble with that word.
I don't like
And
it.
you're never going to let go. Are you sharing the milk or what? And it's like,
So weird. What a weird insult. What a
I
weird
don't
insult.
or is it did she mean with the little baby? Are you sharing the milk with the baby? I'm sure he is. He's very nice, Chidi.
No, I
Um,
don't even think it
don't
meant that. I don't even think it meant that. I think she meant I don't know. It's so weird. It's like you're getting this milk. Are you going to share it with me? Or I don't. Let's quit trying to figure it out.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can't make sense of her head.
No.
But
Mm-mm.
also, again, she's going super crass to shock him, and
Yeah.
I d
Yeah.
it's like she got the tiniest bit of criticism and she went off the rails. So she says to producers, um, oh no, he says to producers, she just says anything that comes to her head. And she says she's never been in a healthy relationship. And now that I'm seeing her aggressive, unhealthy behavior, I'm starting to think it's her. And I was like, "That's a great point, Chidi, but maybe you don't say it to her because she's already screaming at you." But he does. He says, "You know, you've told me about your unhealthy relationships and they're very toxic, and relationships are a two-way street, and with your attitude, there's no way your relationships are gonna be healthy because you have to give respect to get respect." And she loses it. She's like, I told you I was with men that turned to crack, heroin, PCP, meth, ecstasy, marijuana, Tylenol PM, sugar, caffeine. And she's like listing all the drugs. And she's like, and I wouldn't put up with their BS. So I left them. And now I'm the problem. The problem is you, Chidi. The problem is the human freaking race. All you do is try to hurt others. And you call it love? You better turn to chill because you're messing with the wrong freaking ass person.
What is she talking about? What is she talking about? She just goes off and you're like, What what did he even say before that that led? I don't even know. Cuz he's just
Also,
trying to say like you're not going to be able to have a good relationship if you can't, behave properly.
and she's like, "Well, I dated addicts and I left them. And then so that's not my fault. You are the problem.
Oh, okay, that's what
The
she was trying.
human
Okay,
race
good.
is the problem
Okay, all right. The earth,
because
the
you
program.
hate instead of love."
Uh-huh. Okay.
Honestly, I've never had any interest in drugs or alcohol, but she could turn me. I'm not saying that she made these guys addicts, but that's kind of what I'm saying. Um,
Mm.
And that's not right because that's not how it happens, and it's not the partner's fault, and I know that, so don't write letters, but have you met this woman? Because this woman is something else.
What is the Reddit saying about her? There's gotta be I feel like there has to be somebody in her town or that knows her mom's best friend that's like, "Let me tell you the real truth about this crazy pants."
Yeah, I'll look. I mean, I think she just needs a lot of medication, like, I think there's something really again, shouldn't be on TV,
No. Mm-mm. No, and I remember
shouldn't be with this poor man.
when we were having the TLC party and Nicole said the TLC person was like, yeah, 2 of the new cast members are gonna be there, and I was like, "Oh, who?" And she said, "Vanya and Joe." And, I was like, "Oh, not, Lauren or Renee?" And she was like, "Can you imagine if I put them in front of press?" No.
She would be able, "Why are you taking pictures of me? I'm not an alien. I'm totally not an alien, and I remember, I'm not an alien, and I said it here first, but if you take pictures of me with that special light, then it will show that I am an alien, so put on that special non-alien filter right now."
Has Mothman been spotted in, New Mexico?
Exactly.
Mhm.
So he's like, "Can I speak?" He's also, like, never raised his voice, but he just wants to talk. "Can I
Yep.
at least say a one sentence?" He's
Yeah.
like, "All I'm saying is I would like for you to look inwards." She's like, "I don't wanna look inwards, you need to look inwards." So
Okay.
she's like, "What do you want from me if I'm such an issue? Do you just want a visa?" And she just keeps screaming at him about the visa. And he's like, "I don't want a visa. Before you came along, I was fine. I was going to university. Like, I'm fine. If God wants me to get to the United States, he'll get me there. I don't need you for it. And if I wanted a visa, I would submit to her and I would have sex with her."
That's what he said. He said, "If I
Yeah.
would have wanted it, I would have had to bang it out."
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I didn't, so that shows.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You're not even hearing me out." And she goes, "Say what you're gonna say. I'm listening."
Nobody has ever listened less than this woman.
You're not I don't even know if your ears work.
No.
So, like, she has, like, cotton balls shoved in them or something. She
Oh,
can
God.
it's lit I can't it's and she goes, "If I'm too much for Chidi, I will withdraw myself." And then I got very frustrated because now she's gonna do, like, a feminist thing, like, "Oh, just a woman shouldn't speak her mind, and he probably wants me to be all demure, and that's just not who I am." No one's saying that.
Mm.
They just want you to be a decent human being who respects other people.
His sister is not, like, demure. She speaks
No,
her mind. Yeah.
absolutely, but she's respectful of other people.
Yes.
You can be a good person still.
Yes.
So, he says finally, he's like, I think I just have to move on. This is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Everything revolves around her, and I can't express myself at all."
Yeah.
But to her, he's very nice still, and he says, "You know what? I wish you the best in everything." And
Mhm.
then she goes, "Whatever helps you feel like a man."
Again, makes no sense.
No,
Nope.
no. And then he literally just gets in a cab and leaves her crying at the beach.
Did you see that beach was littered with
Covered
trash?
with trash. Yeah,
Covered with trash.
yeah. And she's crying in her talking head about the heartbreak and how awful he is to tear her down and the betrayal and being abandoned by him and all of that.
I mean, just last episode, she was rolled around in some underwear talking about he was gonna be able to feel that fabric. Woo!
Yeah. I think she's not well.
You're correct on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're not doctors, but,
No.
you know, it doesn't even take a first-year nursing student to see
No.
that. No.
And again, her poor children.
I know. I know. Maybe they live with grandma a lot of the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, I'm hoping so.
Yeah. Next time on, we see Brian and Ingrid having a great time. They're in a convertible or a bike or something. I don't know. They're just living it up,
They're
those 2
going to the
lovebirds.
sea, remember?
They were already at the sea. Maybe they're at the sea, they're on a bike, I don't it was fast. Then we see Faith pole
He
dancing.
wasn't on a bike. Wait, what?
Listen, people, he can ride a bike.
Yeah, it's just a
Mhm.
different modified
Yeah.
bike. I'm sure.
I don't know what they were in. They had their hair blowing in the breeze, and we didn't see them again, so I didn't care. We see Faith pole dancing, which was shocking.
Yeah.
And then we see her tell her sisters or her mom or somebody, I don't know who it was. She says, "Do you know the disease of the whores?"
That's what he has. My boyfriend that I just brought to our village, that's what he has.
The disease of the whores. I loved it.
By the way, do you see my thing under my name?
No STD shame here. Well,
'Cause
listen,
one of your listeners thought that I was shaming STDs.
there was a discussion in the Facebook group that I actually really liked a lot. Because people kind of said that maybe you were shaming it, there's no shame in it. And then another listener, I think it was Melissa, wrote and was like, "Listen, I've worked in this field for a long time. And actually, untreated gonorrhea or any of these other things, not only does it spread if it's untreated, but also it can really lead to other terrible illnesses if you get these things and don't treat them.
Mhm.
So it's not just like a nothing to get a
Yeah,
STD anymore because you could just treat it with it. It's not like nothing. It actually
'cause
can't
some people are
work.
resistant to certain antibiotics
Yeah.
too, and then they can, like, develop, like, long-term health issues.
Long-term health issues if
Yeah,
you can't treat it, or if you like, this guy was just choosing, he knew he had something wrong. He was just totally choosing to ignore it.
and again,
Yeah.
that's why we hate him. Like, that's one
Yes.
if it was Faith, for example, who we
Mhm.
love, who had the STD, I would never be shaming. It's not
No.
that, it's that he was going to infect her with it
Mhm. And didn't care.
and got it from cheating
Mhm.
and doesn't care.
Admittedly got it from cheating.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, he has the disease of the horse, I'm saying it.
yeah.
And then Lauren says with a smile to her at a seemingly a lovely meal they were having together, he said, "In the Philippines, there's no same-sex marriage, but I can marry somebody else. It's a marriage of convenience." Smile, smile. And she goes, what do you mean?" He goes, "What do you think if I marry your mom?" She's like, "What the
You heard that right.
He wants to marry her mom as a marriage of convenience. So legally, he'd be married to the mom, but dating Faith.
Everyone who watches the show or doesn't watch, like, I think people actually who watch the show have a really good understanding that it's not always like the evil immigrants that are coming to like abuse the American system and stuff. Like
It's 90%
it's
of the time the Americans.
90% of the time the Americans that are horrible. But people who don't watch this show, I think they have the impression, oh, they're just coming here for a green card and, scammers. That's what he is trying to
Yes,
do to get to live in the Philippines, to be a rich American baller who works with computers, even
with
though he
40
doesn't know what
with
he's doing.
I'd like to know how that $46 is
Yeah,
holding up.
and sleep with all the lady boys, like, and buy the Crocs at the market. Like, he is he wants to marry. That's why he's like, "I can't wait to meet your family and go to your village," and he's, like, gonna try to marry the mom.
But here's the thing, if he's so obsessed with ladyboys and living in the Philippines, he knew he would never be able to marry Faith if they
Yeah.
don't allow same-sex marriages. What is all of this for?
Well, because he maybe was trying to talk to, a biological woman, but maybe no one was interested in him,
Mhm,
and he found Faith, who has a shamefully low self-esteem,
mhm,
which is very sad,
yeah,
and she deserves way better, but she seems to think he's the only one that she can get, and so I think he had backups. I guarantee you he has other people on apps that
totally,
he's talking to,
totally.
and he wants to marry someone. His goal was to live it up in the Philippines, and
Yeah,
maybe
it's
he does like Faith too or is very
yeah,
attracted to her, but,
yeah,
like, this is
yeah.
all this scheme that is so gross, and
It's
he's
so
using
gross.
people and, like, or he's trying to just be as obnoxious as possible on TV so that we're talking about him, like.
Do you think he just came up with this idea, or do
Right,
you think he's had this idea all along? That's my question.
yeah,
Mm,
I don't
sorry
know.
sorry if you can hear the banging. It is 2 floors up, but it's pretty loud. Um, we see Niles trying to sell plantains, with Matilda, and she says, "Da da la," or whatever the words are, and then she goes, "Now you say it," and he goes, "Da la la," and she hits him and like, "No." So he must have said something, like, really dirty, like he said the wrong thing because he's like, "What?" Um, and then we see the 2 of them meet with an elder in the community
Oh,
who says, "No, you cannot do the knock door now and the marriage later. It's do it all now or nothing."
so even though the uncle who is the elder of the family and the mom said it's fine, this elder of the village is
Has
saying
to
no.
makes the decision, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, Tiger Lily puts on a swim costume getup. It's a lot like the Nicole and Mahmoud, except hers has, cheetah print on it. And he's like, "Honey, you look amazing. It looks like you go diving." And she goes, "But we're not going diving, honey." Now, later on, she's on a kid's swing set with Shane Cruz and she's crying and says, "There are so many problems and I shouldn't have to protect myself from my husband." And Cruz says, "You shouldn't have to, but you need to." So
And
what
you
is
picked another husband that you would have to protect yourself from
right?
after your first one was like that.
But I wonder what that means. Protect
Right.
myself from
Like,
what
is he his anger or
I don't know if it like means physically or like I have to protect myself from him because he's
what about
broken my
financially?
heart financially. Although he seems to be
He
doing
seems
fine.
very rich. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we don't know what that's about.
We don't know what that means. Someone brought up something.
Mm,
Maybe because he said, I would kill you
I
if
want
you
you.
put a bikini pic up.
Yeah, yeah. But by the way, we say this all the time. Did she have bikini pics up and stuff when he met her? Bet she
100 is that one of the reasons he clicked like?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yep. So now we meet Joe. Joe's our new guy. He's so cute. He's so cute in person. And he has a girlfriend named Magda. I can't remember where she lives right off the top of my head. She is telling his family, well, she quit her job. She wants kids. She wants to move to the US. And the family's like, okay, well, you need to make sure she's coming for you and not just the green card, which of course is what all horrible American families
Mhm.
say. And then he's wherever she is in her country, and where is it? I can't remember. It's like Czechoslovakia. I can't remember. Is Czechoslovakia still a thing? So we see Magda say, so you sent me flowers for my birthday and then you fucked that girl. And he goes, yeah, I did that, but
Poland.
Poland, so not close. And he says, yeah, I did do that, but it was meaningless. And she says, but is there more than one girl? And then we're like, dun, dun, dun.
Oy.
Veah and s7e meet with what I think is his dad. Could be his brother, but I think it's his dad. And they're at a hookah bar. And the person says she has to convert to Islam. And Veah starts talking, and he goes, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to him. You need to tell her. So, like, don't talk to me directly,
Yeah.
basically. And he said, and Veah goes, so basically he has to choose between me or you. And the man goes, yes, of course.
Now, none of that is what s7e told her. s7e told her she doesn't have to convert.
No, it doesn't matter. Nobody
Yeah.
cares.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not very
And
religious.
s7e goes out drinking
He
and
does.
partying. He
Yeah.
is not strict to his religion.
Mm-mm. So Vanya asks this Bojo's friends are all sitting around, and she says, "Is his ex-girlfriend still in the picture?" And the friends like a yeek. They may all make a yikes face, like, "Whoa, uh-oh, she didn't know about that." And she gets herself and goes, "This is some fucking bullshit." And he says, "I'm sorry." And the friend says, "Looks like there's." The friend is saying it to Bojo. You cannot do that to a person.
Yep.
And she walks out of the restaurant and he's chasing her down the street going, Vanya, Vanya. And she's like, leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. And now I notice she has a pink Chanel bag, which would be about $5,000.
Mm.
Completely obsessed with these handbags. I spent 30 minutes trying to figure out about her beige and black Louis Vuitton bag. And if it's fake, it is a very, very good fake because all the lines and everything match up to what it is on the Louis Vuitton site.
She works very hard for her money and has, like, 4 jobs and,
Right.
like, 2 businesses.
I'm not saying you can't have a real bag. I think that's
No, so
great.
I'm saying it could
I'm
be
just saying
real.
the amount of bags and that Birkin bag.
Yeah.
The Birkin bag is the one that makes you think, "Hmm,
Hmm.
hmm." But I'm gonna get to the
But
bottom
you
of it,
didn't
guys.
think her shoes were very, expensive, the ones she wore at the
Totally
airport?
not. No, they're totally like Steve Madden or whatever, and that's fine. She literally might just be a person who spends her money on handbags,
Mhm.
and if I was rich enough, I would be that person too.
Yeah.
But, it's like Katie and the shoes, you know?
Yeah. No, well, Katie is thrifting all the time.
I know. She gets shoes and she sells shoes and she looks
Yeah.
for new shoes and she tells me about shoes.
Yeah. She bedazzles shoes.
She bedazzles shoes. She also puts like Chanel logos on shoes and
Yeah,
things. She showed me that one time. I was like, "Why are you doing that?"
yeah, she
She's like,
could
"I like it."
yeah.
Yeah, she's crafty. You guys, my dogs are barking upstairs. There's a door between us, and there's 2 other adults here over the age of 18. So I don't know why
Mm-mm.
they're barking. It could be because their workers are leaving now. I don't know. You guys, only about 3 more weeks of this. But only
It's
about 3 more weeks of okay. Kimberly, tell everybody what's happening on A Date with Dateline.
fine. We are doing another Dateline episode.
What?
It's always the same. Um, 7 years.
Mhm.
No, we're still very excited. The new season's really good, and this last episode was very good.
Okay.
If I could remember what it was called.
Okay. I'd
It
like
was
to
called After the Halloween Party, and it was very good.
um so does it take place after the Halloween party?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to write that down because tonight I don't have anything that I have to watch. I'm going to try to tomorrow going to just watch all day housewife stuff because I've got to talk to Deanna Chang. That'll come out Thursday. So Deanna Chang and I are going to talk housewives and pop culture, and that's going to be on Thursday. And then this weekend, of course, is 90 Day the other way. And I'm going to have a couple of special episodes coming out that'll be an interview with Kimberly of 90 Day
No,
and also,
stop.
yeah, and also Vanya. Yeah.
Okay, Kimberly is one of my favorite people.
Is she?
Yes.
I love that. Yeah.
I love her on Pillow Talk. I think she's so funny. She makes, like dad jokes the whole time,
Yeah.
and then her son is just, like, rolling his eyes. I think they're so funny together.
Yeah, and she
Like
also tries to, like, talk about sex to make him uncomfortable.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which I like. Yeah.
she's a riot.
Yes, she was
I mean,
very
she was
nice.
crazy on her season, let's be fair,
She was.
but
She was.
entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's gonna be on, Vanya's gonna be on. These are just gonna be little bonus episodes,
Good.
and yeah, maybe you know what I'll do? Maybe I'll put those out, like, on Thanksgiving or something so that I could have a moment
Mhm.
of not talking about these shows,
Yeah.
and I bet probably some of our shows will be off.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, they did that this week too, though, the same thing they did this week. They did Life After Lockup coming up later this season, and it was a huge, like, super tease,
Mhm.
but I was like, "They're on next week," so I don't know. Usually they do that if they're skipping a week or something.
Right, or it's the half season mark, but
Yeah.
that show just started.
It's probably the half season mark, let's be honest, they have really short
Yeah, they
seasons.
do.
Okay, everybody, Katie and Kimberly have a wonderful podcast. It's called A Date with Dateline. They're creators of the year. They've been around 7 years. Yeah. And, you should
For my
listen to it.
trophy behind me.
Oh, you don't have it.
I don't
Oh,
have it.
yeah. Did Katie receive hers?
No, we didn't get the new ones with the correct year on them. No.
Oh, okay. All right, just checking. And, they did. They won a big award, and they're very proud of my girls. And, we've squashed the beef with the Stanley Cups. It's over.
Oh, phew.
It's over.
Okay, good.
We've let it go. Until she says something else, don't let her run her mouth again.
No, she knows better now.
Tell her she needs to quit drinking those monster drinks and go to cloud water, even though it made me burp the
She
whole
might like
episode.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. And, everybody follow me. I have an Instagram. It's called Pink Shade Pod, and I'm thinking about putting a reel out from this episode because I think it was really funny. What do you think of that?
I love that.
I love it. And, that's it, guys. I'll, talk to you on Thursday with Deanna Chang. I'll be around on Friday with Amy, and next week we start it all over again. So, talk to
Love
you
it.
then. Make sure you go vote.
Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you, everybody.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.